Hello my friends, Goodreads Choice Award season is here, so let's talk about what I'm about to read. I believe this is the 8th year I have done a video like this. The first couple years, nobody was doing Goodreads content. This year, oh my gosh, my feed and your feed probably is just full of all of the Goodreads live reactions and commentary. I started out doing videos where I would just read all the books in a category, and then I started picking one book from each category, and that's what I'm gonna do this year. And I'm doing the same thing as last time, where I have all of the genres and I have a whole bunch of prompts, and I'm gonna pull it out of a jar, pair them up, and then accomplish 15 books, maybe, in the vlog that you'll see in December. I say maybe because I also have a couple cheat cards that I have to earn. So there's a couple things I need from you in the comments. One of these prompts is you choosing a book from one of the genres. And then one other thing I need from you is an idea for how I can earn these cheat cards. But let's just start with pairing up all 15 genres with 15 prompts, and after I pull everything, then I will go through one by one how I'm gonna choose the books and choosing the actual books in this video. For the most part, there's a couple, like subscribers choose what I read in a certain genre. That obviously is gonna have to wait till the vlog. But here are the 15 categories for the Goodreads Choice Awards this year. Memoir, audiobook, oh God. Horror, oh gosh. Fantasy, debut. What does that say? Romantasy, mystery and thriller, nonfiction, history and biography. I could have organized this better. Science fiction, just fiction. That one doesn't want to be read. That's romance. YA fantasy, historical fiction, and YA fiction. Now my prompts this year. There's a couple that are returning from last year and a couple that you submitted in some recent video comment sections. One is going to be my members' choice. I have channel besties, and they're gonna have a series of polls probably on our Discord or on our YouTube post members tab where they can vote. I'm gonna read my favorite cover in one of the categories. And then first line, I'm not gonna read the first line of all 20, there's 20 books in each category. And I know that a lot of you regularly tell me, like, we just collectively want to see you read what you want to read. So there is gonna be a semblance of control in all of these categories, but random enough, I think, to make the video fun. Next is not the winner. Last year I did the winner, and somebody mentioned I should do the runner up, which I think will be fun because it'll be more of a surprise. Even if we can predict the winner in each category, it's very hard to pick the runner up. So this one I won't know what I'm picking until the awards are officially wrapped up and the winners are announced. Oh, Pantone, this one I also won't be able to know until like the very last moment, because I want to pick a book that has colors on the cover that match the 2026 Pantone of the year, which gets announced the first week of December. So I have no idea what it's gonna be, but we can have some fun little guessing moments. Next is 1-star reviews, read some of those, and that'll help me decide. One that's on my physical TBR, which I think will be a good prompt to have. This one was suggested, find the least expensive book in a category. So go to the bookstore, look at the price tags of everything and find the one that costs the least amount of money. Then, because I'm definitely gonna pick up some audiobooks during this challenge, reading from a narrator that I enjoy should be easy to find for most of the categories. Of course, I recently got a bingo spinner, so I want to use this for something. So one of the categories will be decided via bingo. Of course, we'll have the subscribers choose. So once this is decided, you can put in the comments below what book you want me to read in the category. My mom is going to choose. Rob and or Liam is going to choose for a category. And then Connections, the game that Rob and I play every day. Somebody suggested this, and I think this will be a silly way to try to relate one of the categories to one of the books. I'll have to figure that one out. And then this one in my inbox is one that I just thought of because I get email pitches throughout the entire year of books that people want me to read, or that are being offered to me as ARCs, or that are just being advertised. And I figured I could go through my email inbox and search the books in a category and find one that was actually pitched to me earlier in the year that I didn't pick up. Now you know everything that's going down, let's make a plan. Genres in here, prompts in here. Okay, first one we're gonna do is the member's choice. Great place to start. How do I stir this? I kind of feel like no matter what I give them, it's gonna be fine. Like, I'm not leaning towards any genre, but maybe something just exciting. So it's fun to pick. Oh gosh, putting this completely outside of my control. Science fiction, that's what they got last year. What the heck? Okay, I'm sorry, you guys, the universe really wants you to be in control of my science fiction. You know, actually, this is probably a category that I would have had a hard time deciding what I want to read. There are things that I'm intrigued by, like The Dream Hotel and Automatic Noodle. That cover is so fun. I probably would have picked it for the cover prompt. The Memory Collectors I've heard people talk about and I think sounds interesting, even though I hate the cover. I've already read The Compound and Death of the Author, and I loved both of those. The only one on my physical TBR is the Once and Future Me. There's quite a few that I would not pick for myself that I've looked into that I'm not really interested in, just to help guide anybody, but if there's something, you know, that everyone wants to convince me to read, I'm definitely into that. These Memories Do Not Belong to Us, I haven't looked too much into, but the concept seems interesting. I think We've Been Here Before, I think looks cute and fun. I heard good things about Of Monsters and Mainframes. Book of Lost Hours maybe sounds like something I could like. So this one's gonna be up to the besties. So I have no definitive answer for this one right now. Prompt number 2 is gonna be, oh, Rob and or Liam chooses. I think last year we based it on the cover, so I'll probably do that again. They're gonna be choosing My Romance? What are you talking about? This is a terrible idea. Oh my God. From the romance category, I have read 2 things, The Favorites by Lane Fargo and Great Big Beautiful Life. I don't know what I would pick for myself, so that one will be interesting. We'll talk more about it in a minute. But we've got 15 prompts to get through. Next, first line. I'm gonna be reading the first line of a collection of these, maybe not all of them. This one doesn't have too much control because I have no context with like the book title, so I don't know. Could be anything. Fantasy? Okay, from the fantasy category, I have read 4 books. The River Has Roots, The Raven Scholar, Catabasis, and Watermoon. Probably by the time I post this though, I will have also read The Strength of the Few. Although I don't know the first line of that one, so perhaps I could put that in this video too, and it could be a double up. You know, I don't hate this one for fantasy. Plus, maybe it'd be fun for you to hear the first line of a bunch of fantasy books. Let's keep on moving. Next is Subscriber's Choice. That's you guys. Putting my fate in your hands. And all I have to go on off of is the comment section. You just mention the book and I tally up how many times everything was mentioned. Oh my gosh. I think I trust you though. So I want to get something, maybe like horror would be good because there's only a couple to choose from, and I think you would choose something like already on my TBR. Okay, horror, horror, horror. I'm manifesting. Are my witchy powers. No, that was not fake. You saw me, didn't cut the entire thing. The witchiness is still here. I am so powerful. Hell yeah. Okay, what's in the horror category? I know I've read a lot of them. I've read 11 of these 20, and I just realized this was a little hasty of a manifestation because there are quite a few books in here I've DNF'd, and you could make me finish them. Here are your options. I have already DNF'd What Hunger, Hungerstone, and The Lamb. The only one on my physical TBR is The Bewitching, and I have not attempted The Haunting of Payne's Hollow or How Bad Things Can Get, Coffin Moon, or Breathe In, Bleed Out. Do not make me read Never Flinch. I will not forgive you. My fate is in your hands. Now I'm sweating. Next prompt, we're doing the Pantone. Here's the thing. Let me look at history and biography really quick because that's the only one I think I don't want for this because there's like no colors on any of these covers. All the other categories have like a wide range of rainbow colors, and this would be fine for anything except for this one because the Pantone color of the year could be absolutely any color. Do you hate this sound or do you like it? Oh my God, I can't even get one. Audiobook. Interesting. Oh God, this is way too risky of a category. There are so many things I do not want to read here, but I think we've got a wide range enough of colors. I don't know if I'll be able to match the exact color. Like I have no idea what it's gonna be, but okay. That might be a swap I need to make later. We'll talk about these in just a second. Next prompt is in my inbox. So a book that has been pitched to me. I feel like maybe the nonfiction or what's left in here. Like there's a history and biography, there's a memoir. Those ones would be bad to pick because I don't know if those show up in my inbox very often. What we're gonna do Debut. You know what? This might be pretty much in my control because I feel like a lot of these I've seen. This is exciting. That's a good one. Okay, we'll talk about that later. We just got to get the TBR jar moments out of the way. Next is playing connections. Though I suppose if we play connections and like I can't connect anything, I could play the next day or the next day before this TBR officially goes up. But I'm gonna play connections to decide my YA fiction pick. In YA, I have read none of these books. I didn't plan to read any of these books. I don't currently read YA very much at all. There are quite a few authors in here that I've read from before. This is like the most diversity you see in the Goodreads Choice Awards is in the young adult categories. So I think no matter what happens in the connections game, I can connect something. Next prompt is, one where I like the narrator. So this is a book that I will guaranteed be reading as an audiobook. This can either mean a narrator that I've read from before and that's why I'm picking it. Like if I get romantasy right now, there is a book specifically called Shield and Sparrow that I know I like the narrator. And then also Tourist Season in romance, I like the narrator. I just talked about her recently. But also I have a list of some of my favorite narrators. And if the category doesn't have any specific narrators that I've read, I can just listen, like sample each audiobook and pick the narrator that I like the best. That's the concept there. Mystery thriller. Okay, I definitely don't mind this being the pick. I couldn't think of any other prompts for mystery thriller that I would love to get. In this category, I have read 0. Yeah, my finger is not on the pulse of 2025 mystery thrillers. The only one that I absolutely love this year, Julie Chan is Dead, was not up for nomination because it has too low of an average rating, which is ridiculous. And I'm butthurt about it. Next category, the runner-up. So whatever book in this category gets second place once the winners are announced, that's what I pick. The things left in here are concerning. I still have memoir and romantasy, and both of those I need some control over because there's way too many things in the category like I don't want to read. Okay, runner-up in YA fantasy. You know what? At this moment in time, I definitely couldn't predict what the winner would be. Actually, the winner's probably going to be Sunrise on the Reaping. The runner-up is probably going to be a sequel, but that's what I picked. I have read nothing from this category, but again, there's a couple authors I've read from before. This is getting scary. Next prompt, the least expensive. I am just about to go to the bookstore and we can look at the price tag. I'm gonna go with the original price tag, I think. Like not what's maybe has a sticker on sale, or maybe I should, I don't know. But where in the bookstore am I gonna have to shop today? Nonfiction. Okay, hey, those will all be, on the same shelf. No, wait, this is the one that'll probably be on a million shelves and I'm gonna have to track down and flip all of them over to look at the price tag. I have read two things from this category. One Day Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This and Black and Blues. So I'm kind of down to pick any of these. Like none of them are really calling to me. I'm happy to pick whatever the bookstore price decides for me. Okay, just a quick check-in before the end. These are the 5 I have remaining. Romantasy, fiction, memoir, historical, nonfiction, and fiction alike. And then we still have bingo choosing, 1-star reviews, my favorite cover, one on my TBR shelf, and my mom chooses. There are a couple that would not work from the on my TBR shelf one. So let's just do that one and make sure I pull something that actually is on my TBR shelf, because historical fiction and history and biography would not work for this. So I'm gonna have to just like opt out of it right now. Or my manifestation powers, the one I just dropped, that's definitely the wrong one. My manifestation powers are gonna bring me one that makes sense. Fiction, that's perfect. I was like, wait, do I have any fiction? Of course I have fiction. I have The Empress of Gladness, which I definitely was hoping to read at some point. So I'm getting something off of my TBR shelf, and that worked out perfectly. These ones now might be a little wackadoodle. My hand just got stuck in there. 1-star review, where I, bring the list from maybe 20 to 10 of ones I actually want to read. And then I read 1-star reviews and I let that convince me like which one would actually be for me. Romantasy would be a fun one. I think that's what I got for Romantasy last year. Yeah, I did. Except I read 1 and 5-star reviews. This time is just the 1-star reviews. But I'm gonna do, oh, memoir for this one. Oh, okay, I'm gonna read 1-star reviews of people who hate people's life stories. That's nice. Actually, this is good because bringing the list down from 20 to 10 is definitely necessary because I don't really like a celebrity memoir. I'm not interested in that. I want to read just about a random person. And I suppose the 1-star reviews maybe could help me figure out which ones are written in a way that I might not like. So I don't mind that. We have got my mom chooses. Okay, so my mom is either picking my historical fiction, history and biography, or romantasy. At this point, like, I don't even know which one I would want if I could pick. Yeah, romantasy, I saw that coming. Last year she picked my fantasy. It didn't go very well, but what could go wrong with my mom choosing the romantasy read? Next up, second last, my favorite cover. Oh gosh, okay. Let's take a quick glance. Historical fiction, there's definitely covers I love. History and biography, I don't know if there's a lot that I'm like, ooh, stunning. So we're gonna hope for, what did I say? Historical fiction. But that leaves bingo. Bingo for either of these doesn't sound fun. Historical fiction. Favorite cover in historical fiction. I haven't read anything from this category. There are covers that I like though, but we will talk about all of that. After this final combination, bingo picks my history and biography. I'm gonna play a game of bingo with you and read about some historical thing. Now, before we get into the section of the TBR video where I actually decide my TBR and talk that through, I wanna talk about these 3 things. These are my cheat cards. In case something is not going well, I have the opportunity to pull one of these and opt out of a situation, but I have to earn them. The first one is to omit a category. I honestly have 2 categories. Let me know if you can guess which ones. I would like to omit from this video. I don't actually think I have to read all 15 categories to successfully complete this challenge. I don't really even care anymore. It's just the journey of going through all of the books that I think is fun. And if I pick a book and I start reading it, or I just don't want to read a certain category, I can use one of my cards to omit that category. And I kind of expect this video to go from 15 categories to 13. And then my other cheat card is to swap prompts. So if there is a prompt throughout the video that is just not working, that didn't work out, I can swap it with something else. Say my mom chose my romantasy and I start reading it and I hate it. And then I start reading the YA fiction that's a runner-up, and I can swap these 2 prompts for each other. I still have to complete all of the prompts, but I have an opportunity to swap. In order to use one of these, I have to complete something. I have 2 ideas, and let me know the 3rd idea that I should add to the vlog. First one is to read a book from the library. I think if I support my local library, I should get a cheat. Hopefully something that I picked here is available at the library. The second thing that I need to complete to earn one of these is to double up. We're at the point in the year where I have so much on my TBR still. I have so many videos to complete. And if I find a way to vlog a book for 2 different videos, the Goodreads video and something else at the same time, and or complete a separate challenge that I have running, then I can earn one of these. So for example, I'm about to film a sequel video, and I did notice throughout here, there are a couple sequels. So if all of the pairings match up and I happen to lean towards one of the sequels, then I can double that up for 2 different vlogs. I also have this bingo board going where I'm trying to tick off challenges and things that I love in books. So if one of the books fits into that, I can consider that checked off. I also have a 25 and 25. I haven't even looked at it. Maybe I've actually read all of the books, but if anything remains on there that I happen to get to read for this, then I've checked off a part of that challenge. Another challenge that's currently running is the buzzword reading challenge. So I have 4 more books to read before the end of the year. So if I can make something fit for a buzzword video and the Goodreads video at the same time, then that is a challenge completed as well. If I accomplish my goals, then I get to cheat in my vlog. I would like a 3rd one. So if there's anything that you think that I should be trying to accomplish in order to win a yellow card, then let me know. And I will pull some of these hopefully in that video so I can have a little more control over what's happening in the vlog. And now let's get into the TBR. One by one, we'll go back through all the challenges and I will figure out some of what I'm actually going to read for the vlog. So you know what I'm reading in the upcoming weeks. You can anticipate what I'm about to read in the vlog. I'm here with my husband. I haven't told you what category you're choosing for me for the Goodreads Choice Awards, have I?
No.
Okay, so it's romance.
Oh God. Okay.
So do you want to do it based off of, do you want me to just tell you all the titles? Do you want to look at all the covers?
I want covers.
Or do you want the synopsis?
I don't want synopsis. I want to do covers and titles.
Okay.
I think that's more fun.
Okay, can we just set the tone for like what I want?
But I'm just gonna say I'm gonna base something what I think you want to read, not something that I think is cool. Okay.
Right.
Okay. That's fair. Okay. I can find a happy medium.
I guess I shouldn't lead you in any direction, but like maybe pick the one that you think would be my vibe.
Yeah, I'll be accommodating to your wants and needs, you know.
Why don't we just whittle it down to 3 first?
Okay. Deep End, First Time Caller, Till Summer Do Us Part. Ew. Tourist Season, One Golden Summer, If It Makes You Happy. If it makes you happy. Problematic Summer Romance. Say You'll Remember Me. Rewind It Back seems like almost a style of like a teen book. Like King of Envy just looks super fancy. Okay, well I want to say Till Summer Do Us Part.
Okay.
Just because I think I like the colors. Maybe I'll do Deep End as the second one. I don't want to do another summer one. That's summer, that's fall. I'm stuck between 2 for the third one. Yeah, I'll do If It Makes You Happy, because it's fall.
Okay, thank you for whittling it down to 3.
Okay, now actually read me the synopsis. Scotty Price just started a new job, and it's a real sausage fest.
Oh.
In an effort to impress her boss, Scotty mentions her non-existent husband in a company meeting, but eagle-eyed Chad points out her lack of wedding ring. Frantic, she calls in for help from her best friend who sets her up with his brother, an improv-obsessed millionaire. More than happy to take on the job, he teaches Scotty the main rules of always saying yes. I think don't you like those usually though? Like fake marriages?
Oh, I do. I do like
those.
fake dating.
Deep End. Scarlett Vandermeer is swimming upstream. A junior at Stanford and a student athlete who specializes in platform diving. Swim captain, world champion, all-round aquatic golden boy Lucas thrives on discipline. It's how he wins gold medals and breaks records. Complete focus with every stroke. On the surface, Lucas and Scarlett have nothing in common until a well-guarded secret slips out and everything changes.
Third one.
My new next-door neighbor seems to have everything figured out. Small-town golden boy? Check. Single dad extraordinaire? Check. Hot baker forearms? I didn't notice them, I swear. I, on the other hand, don't at all have anything figured out. Cliff is inescapable. He knows exactly what people need, always. His charm, the way he wears flannel, and even his pastries, make not wanting to be friends with Cliff and his daughters pretty hard. So ask me why I'm thinking about kissing my hot neighbor.
Now that we know what all 3 of them are about, what's the pick?
What was the first one again?
Till Summer or something.
I didn't like the way that the last one read at all. I thought it was really
weird. Or like the synopsis.
Yeah, it was like...
Yeah, it was from her perspective.
I think I still have the same first one. I think I'm still doing Till Summer Do Us Part. Okay. Yeah.
Okay, let's talk fantasy. This is where I went last year when I was reading the first line of, I think it was memoir. This year we're doing fantasy, and I have them all ready. Tell me which one intrigues you the most. First one is Holland St. James had been counting down the minutes until tonight. Does that do anything for you? It doesn't do it for me. First one here. Okay, there's a cup of tea, which makes me think of a certain book. Fern stared up at a wooden sign in the shape of a kite shield. Is that exciting? Do you think that's exciting?
Yeah, I love kite shields.
The next one, we get a little bit of information at the top of where we're located. The widow arrives on a Wednesday. Okay, and I already know this is a historical one. The widow arrives on a Wednesday. Like the idea of we're gonna meet a widow may be interesting, but I don't think that's the one. This one, the first sentence is I am, and that's it. That's not for me. Oh, this one's long. I'd thought the jungles of the Eastern Empire to be oppressively hot, but as I sat in the prow of a little canal boat and felt the sweat slip down my brow, I decided the North was, without question, far worse. These are not very exciting, and they're also not giving fantasy to me. Next one, several years after the war, during the mid-afternoon hour I generally put aside to fantasize about setting fire to my manuscript and disappearing into the countryside to raise goats, I received a book in the post.
Goats.
That one also doesn't sound very fantasy. I don't know, I do like reading about like authors and stuff, so this one is the top of my list so far. Next, I had just taken poison when the king arrived to inform me that he had murdered his wife. Now that's an intriguing first sentence. Do I really want to read about royalty today though? I don't know. This one says, Dr. Walden looked glumly at the form she had to fill in. That sounds boring and medical. Next, on the first weekend in September, Arthur Oakes drove west to see his mother in the House of Correction. That's like, okay, prison-y? I'm okay. As a child, Sam can see beauty in everything. That's not exciting either. Years later, when Lydia recalled that day at Downing Street, she would often find herself thinking about the door. That's also the top of my list. Next, it's the scream that wakes her. That's an intriguing first line. It doesn't give me any idea of the world, though. And I think I know what book this is, because it looks like that's a shell, so that maybe the sirens. Fear, my father once told me, is simply our realization of a lack of control. I'm trying not to be swayed because I'm pretty sure this is the strength of the few, and I already want to read that. Was that intriguing to you? Okay.
I like that one.
Okay, I kind of want to pick that one. Most of the long abandoned mill buildings of East Hampton were being slowly resurrected by developers.
Jesus.
That's boring. These are fantasy novels.
They all just sound like a cup of sand. Just blah.
Magda Sparks' favorite place was to be found at 114 Bell Street in London's Marylebone, in an unspectacular 4-story Georgian townhouse that was identical to many other buildings on the street. Not that one. Was that all of them? That was all of them. Okay. The one about the manuscript, the one about the king and the poison, maybe. Oh, and the one where she's thinking about the door. Like, what does that mean? Those are my 3 contenders. Okay, I've decided I'm gonna go with the one about the book because I'm realizing this is fantasy, so maybe it's a magical book, and I could like a magical book. I also want to pick the one about the father, but I'm leaning towards it because I think I know what the book is, and I don't think that's really fair. Let's see if I'm right about the father one. Okay, yeah, that one is the strength of the few. The one about thinking about the door is the resistance of witches. I would have liked to read or try that one. The widow arrives as bearer bones in the midnight soil. That would have been a good pick. This one is the tea shop one, which I figured. Oh, the one about the king and the poison is Hemlock and Silver, which would have been a great pick. And then the one I chose is The Everlasting, which is scary because I have not liked that author in the past. But people have said it's similar to this novella, which is the only thing I liked from this author. So, The Everlasting. Okay, interesting. The Pantone color of the year is something I care deeply about, finding out what that color is going to be. I equally live in books and also graphic design. So finding out the color trends and caring about the color trends is something really fun. It's usually like the first Tuesday of December, the Pantone color of the next year is going to be announced. That color of the year always impacts my work life a little bit, and now it's going to impact my book life. This one might have to be a swap though. If nothing here fits, because there's not every color, like every tone represented here, I might have to swap this with a different category, which would be the very last minute and kind of crazy. In the audiobook category this year, there is a lot of reds and oranges and yellows. I don't think I'll really struggle if that's the direction that Pantone goes in. There's also quite a few greens to pull from and like this purpley pink. Since I can't figure out what I'm reading in this moment, I can try to predict the Pantone color though. So I think there's a chance they go blue. It's just like the Goodreads reading challenge every year. Like people like to fall back on blue, which I think is kind of boring. So there's a couple blue tones that I'm thinking if they go blue, they'll go maybe like a green, like a seafoam aqua, maybe one that's a little denim, and then a deeper kind of teal. Those are my predictions if they go blue. I think what I want is something in the yellow range. I'm always asking for a mustard yellow. I don't think they'll actually do it. Maybe some type of creamy orange though, or like a green toned yellow. I think they could go with that kind of a color. And then I also think this could be the year for purple, because if we look at the last 16 years of the Pantone colors, it's been a minute since they've done purple. And I would personally love to see something like a pinky purple, or a mauvey shade, an eggplant, like kind of any purple I'd be cool with, or a pink It's just a little bit cool. So I think my 3 official predictions are going to be this cool pink, the greenish yellow, or the light denim blue. That's my official predictions for the Pantone color, and I'll have to find out in the vlog and then pick something. I don't think that there's anything in the audiobook category that I am necessarily excited to read. I know everyone wants me to read Atmosphere. I think I would pick The Correspondent just because I've seen a lot of people talking about it the last couple days, but I guess we'll find out in the vlog together what it's gonna be. This prompt of choosing something in my inbox seems really fun for the debut because maybe I have been pitched an arc, and the thing is I decline almost all arcs, so maybe there's one that kind of slipped by that maybe I would have loved, but I didn't grab it when it showed up. I just searched my inbox for the first couple on the list and nothing has shown up except for emails. Like I get weekly emails from Readworthy by BookBub, so it seems like all of them have been mentioned in like one of those articles, but other than that I haven't seen anything, so I'm gonna continue my search. Eights by Joanna Miller, Years by Sarah Damoff, A Family Matter by Claire Lynch. Oh, this is a first. Addie E. Kitchens doesn't show up in my inbox at all, so that one I've never seen. Oh, I was so sure When the Tides Held the Moon would show up. I feel like I read the first couple chapters of that, so, but it must have not been an arc. The only one here is from Aardvark, so I guess that was one of the Aardvark picks. Oh, The Original Daughter, also in my email from Aardvark. Nothing shows up when I search Milo Todd or Daria Lavelle. That would have been nice because my mom has that book. I could have stolen it from her. Maybe I should pick the one that shows up in my inbox the most then, because wow, there must have really been a paid push for Names by Florence Knapp, because that has been sent to me 100 times. Oh, okay. With Emily St. James, when I search her name, Woodworking comes up from an email from Libro, which I am an affiliate for. So this is advertising the book as something that I might like, but also I've been given a unique link to send out to people to help advertise this book as a part of their marketing for the month. I guess this was a real staff favorite. And that is the only book of all of these debuts that is showing up in a way that's being advertised to me as an influencer as opposed to a reader. So a more unique, I guess, email. I feel like when I was doing the live show, a couple people were saying Woodwork would be a good one for me to read. I have no idea what it is, but I do like the cover. Let's talk about the YA fiction prompt. Rob! I'm not allowed to play Connections without him.
That's fair.
That is the law. Okay. I already see things that are like appliances.
Fit, get up, duds, threads.
Oh, like an outfit.
Outfit.
Attire.
Box office, post office, Oval Office, cigarette. Oh, Microsoft Office.
Okay. I still think they're like things that make steam, or things like stuff comes out of stuff. Air purifier? Or does it put out anything?
No, it doesn't put out anything. It just filters.
But there's things with filters.
Oh, filters!
Filters!
Yeah, filters. Instagram. Instead of
Oh my
fire extinguisher.
God.
Filters.
Things that use
Nice.
filters. Wow, we got there.
Fire extinguisher, beer, C, shaving cream. Oh, things that have high pressure. Beer in a can, fire extinguisher, and shaving cream is pressurized.
C has pressure?
Yeah, if you go down.
Oh, sure.
Remember that submarine that imploded?
Right.
Foamy things. Oh. I mean, they both work. Thanks for having me.
I guess I'll do the next part by myself, where I have to figure out if any of these books I can make connect to the connection. I guess for attire, all of these people are wearing outfits. Is there anything that's foamy or that uses a filter on the covers? Falling Like Leaves, I bet that coffee with like steam foam. There's a match on Under the Same Stars. I don't know how that's related. You know what? In the last Goodreads Awards video, I'd read this dragon one, and this one, Dating and Dragons, is the sequel. So that's kind of fun. And there's a T here, which foam, but also there's definitely a filter on a microphone. This is a podcast. There's like a thing over top that is filtering the sound. Also, the tea bag implies that there is a filter that is filtering the tea leaves. And also, they're wearing a lot of attire. And they're kind of in an office. This is a section of her dad's bookstore, toy store, a game store, where they play games. So it's kind of an office. Okay, narrators in the mystery thriller area. And we have 3 contenders that I definitely didn't think going into it that these would be the picks, because I actually have no idea what 2 out of these 3 are about. So I looked at the narrators for all of the books. So for example, Famous Last Words, I haven't read from Amelia Fox before. The narrator for Julia Clark's The Ghostwriter, we've got Ellen Archer, Katie Shore, Josh Hurley. I haven't listened to any of them before. The Reese Witherspoon one, I have disliked the narrator of multiple books here. So that's not the one. Same with Heartwood. This is one that I thought maybe I would pick because I love the cover, but I have actively disliked one of the narrators and liked one of the others. So that one I feel like I can't pick. King of Ashes, I don't feel anything towards the narrator who did that. The narrator who does this, like, no hate to her because everyone has different preferences and obviously she wouldn't have a job if other people didn't enjoy her. But this narrator, I think I'll just play you a second of like what I mean by a narrator I don't like. I actively disliked listening to Hench and the animators, or Hairlike, I can't remember. So this will not be my pick.
Jet blinked. Something beeped. She's awake! Doctor, she's awake! Who's she?
I also really dislike Saskia Merleveld, who narrated The Most Wonderful Crime of the Year and First Sly Wins, which I did not like listening to.
You wouldn't have to read even a single article about the disappearances to know that. It's common knowledge, at least around these parts.
But maybe she's for you. I remember not being able to stand Richard Armitage's voicing of a female character in some of his books, so I'm not going to listen to this one.
Sandy says, staring at me with a strange expression on her face. Oh, yes, Midge says with a nervous smile. Fit as a fiddle.
Our first contender is Vera Wong's Guide to Snooping on a Dead Man. I think she did fantastically, Eunice Wong, in the first book in the series. I've also listened to her do multiple other books, and I quite like her vocal stylings.
Vera had been particularly pleased about using the phrase slip and slide into her DM. Vera insists on keeping up to date with every trend.
I don't have any thoughts on Kathleen Early, who narrates Karen Slaughter's stuff. But then I saw the narrator list for You Killed Me First by John Mars. I don't even know what this book's about, but these are some of my favorite audiobook narrators, Moira Quirk and Elizabeth Noelden. They narrated The Ornithologist Guide, Field Guide to Love, and Gideon the Ninth, and I just love listening to them.
Gideon Nav packed her sword, her shoes, and her dirty magazines. It's a commotion of crackling, sputtering, and popping noises.
So that is now a contender. And then one I definitely didn't see coming, is not on my radar at all, is Forget Me Not by Stacey Willingham. I don't think I've ever read anything from her, but Helen Laser and Carissa Vacker are 2 of my favorite audiobook narrators. Specifically, Carissa Vacker, there's just this breathy styling that she does that, again, we all have different preferences, so I feel like some people might not like it, but I love the way that she sounds.
It's early morning and I'm standing outside, watching the sunrise slow over the water.
So now I need to look into the plot of these 2 books to make sure that I don't want to read them any more than Vera Wong, because that is the pick in my heart. But I think I need to look up what these books are, and then maybe I'll try the first chapter. I've read John Mars before, and I feel like him being in the Goodreads Choice Awards is pretty encouraging. 3 women, 3 smoldering secrets. Who will make it out alive? It's the 5th of November and a woman awakes to a nightmare. Bound and gagged, she lies trapped in the heart of a towering bonfire. As the smoke thickens, panic sets in. She's moments away from being engulfed in flames. How did it come to this? Rewind 11 months. Margot, a faded TV star, and her long-suffering friend Anna watches glamorous Liv and her flawless family move into their street. The 3 women soon fabricate the perfect pretense of friendship, but each harbors her own deadly secret. And newcomer Liv senses something is terribly wrong with their polished exteriors. I feel like he does such good twists that there's probably a twist in this book, And then Forget Me Not, 22 years ago, Claire Campbell's older sister Natalie disappeared shortly after her 18th birthday. That is just the plot of every single mystery book. A girl's sister is missing. Days later, blood was found in a car, a man arrested, and the case was swiftly closed. In the decades since, Claire has attempted to forget her traumatic past by moving to the city and climbing the ranks as an investigative journalist, until an unexpected call from her father forces her to come back and face it all anew. Again, always the girl going back to her small town. With an entire summer now looming ahead, a summer spent with nothing to do in her childhood home with her estranged mother, Claire decides on a whim to accept a seasonal job at Galloway Farm, a vineyard. She's living a slow-paced life, and she starts to obsess over the diary of her sister that she found. I don't know if I can make this decision for myself. Do you think I should go with the book I'm already more interested in and love the narrator, or try out the books that I really love the narrators and maybe they could make the book even more of a special experience? I don't know the answer. Because it's about the narrator, I kind of want to do the full cast ones because each of these has multiple narrators. Maybe I won't make the decision until the vlog and I'll try out both, or I'll let you tell me what to do in the comments. Okay, I'm about to head to the bookstore with my mom to do our buzzword video. And she's gonna choose my romantasy. I have read 3 of these: Emily Watt's Compendium of Lost Tales, The Knight and the Moth, and A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. Now I am gonna go ahead and remove any of the sequels, and we're left with a couple first books in series and a couple standalones. What I would pick, I mean, I've read from Sue Lynn Tan before, so I feel like that would probably be what I'm gravitating towards. But I have heard good things about Wild Reverence, and I think Shield of Sparrows has such a beautiful cover, and I know that the audiobook narrator is someone that I like. Oh my god, I'm so scared. Oh, I'm also taking off any of the turf-related books on here because that's just not what I'm doing here. I'm scared, I'm scared, I'm scared. Do you remember last year in the Goodreads Choice Awards, I had you select my fantasy book? Okay, so this year I did something similar and I pulled 2 prompts out of a jar and you now have to choose. The genre is romantasy.
Okay.
It can be based off of the title, the cover, or you can read the synopsis. If you have time, we can sit down and you can look through them all.
Okay.
But I need you to select the romantasy pick for me.
Okay.
And I am worried.
Are you?
I don't want to read any of them. Okay, I brought the list down to 5 from 20. Have you decided?
Oh, I have.
What's your decision?
You won't like these 2?
Okay.
These 2 might be okay,
Okay.
but I think you'd like this one.
Okay. I think I might own this, but I'm not sure.
Seriously?
I think I might have bought it already. I haven't read it, but I think I might have bought it because I like this author. Thank you for your pick.
You're welcome.
Would you read either of them?
I would read this one.
Okay. Would you read either of those ones?
This one, Dragon Riders.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
And Wolf Riders.
Yeah, that's scary.
So you wouldn't like this.
Okay, so I'm not going to say without any prompting she chose the book that I would have probably chosen myself. Honestly, though, I was really down to try out these 2, but she picked the book that I already own. And I can't remember if I've hauled it, but I think it's in my TBR closet, and like, I can't let you in here because it's way too chaotic, but I'll be right back. I can't say it was no prompting because obviously I like whittled it down to just 5 options. I do own it. And that's great because the one in this, where am I? The one in this store had pink sprayed edges, which I don't love. So I'm really intrigued to read this. This is officially my romantasy pick. I love Daughter of the Moon Goddess. I gave it like 5 stars and not everyone else seemed to love it. So hopefully seeing that people obviously adore this one, maybe I will too. I'm about to go book shopping. I think one thing I can complete while I'm there is finding the nonfiction that is the least expensive. Like I said, I have read 2 things from this category, so I will head to the bookstore and I'll find all of the rest. I don't think there's anything here, honestly, that I'm leaning towards more than something else. Like, they all seem interesting enough. I guess I'm kind of hoping that the more self-help ones aren't the ones that I end up picking. 43, 39, 39?
Yikes.
39. This one looks like it could be reasonable. 25. A lot of them are hard. Well, they're also new. 36, because they're like 2025 releases. 39. 39. Well, I guess I'm buying this cute little one. Back to the fiction prompt, I thought this was the easiest one. I thought it was cut and dry, something off of my TBR. I have one thing on my TBR, The Emperor of Gladness. But then I remembered I just got my Book of the Month box and I haven't opened it up and put it on my shelves yet, but there is another contender in here. And that's Cursed Daughters. I just ordered this from Book of the Month. It's one of my most anticipated reads of the year. Side note, I also grabbed this one, which has nothing to do with this video. But these are both authors I have read a novel from in the past and have given 5 stars, and then read one other thing from them and liked it enough. And now I don't know what to do. I think in the vlog I'm gonna have to try out both of them. I'm pretty certain they're quite heavy familial books. So yeah, I have 2 contenders and I'm gonna give them both my time. Let's talk memoirs and their 1-star reviews. Why am I doing this? I feel like I should already try to use a swap for this because this isn't gonna make any of us feel good. I already took the list down in half and gotten rid of the celebrity ones. I feel like a lot of the authors in this category are ones who have written novels and now they're writing a memoir. So people will be interested in the story they have to tell after experiencing their writing. There's a couple here who, I think this is the first thing that they've ever published though. This one, Raising Hair by Chloe Dalton. The cover obviously intrigues me because I like rabbits on covers. This 1-star review, I found it a boring and repetitive rambling about a hare and her anxious worries. Would be better suited as a video documentary. There are only so many times you can read a description of a hare hopping and looking around. I was not able to finish the book. You know, that one doesn't actually turn me off because I tend to like repetitive storytelling more so than other people. Careless People is probably one that I might have picked myself because it's about a woman who worked at Facebook. There are so many 1-star reviews for this one. This book carries some heavy and very important allegations, but sadly they are levied by a wildly unreliable narrator. She comes off as completely incapable at her job, ill-prepared and incompetent at many important international events with world leaders with zero sense of self-awareness. Ouch. We've got Memorial Days by Geraldine Brooks, who wrote Horse, which I've heard of but haven't read. I totally respect Brooks as a fiction writer, and I 100% sympathize with the sudden loss of her husband. Oh, that sounds like a heavy one. But there's a conscious or subconscious privilege dropping when she's writing about her life and not her grief, which is not what I came to this book to read. Okay, we have Arundhati Roy, who published The God of Small Things, and somebody called this a book-length obituary in their 1-star review. I guess this is about the loss of her mother. Susan Orlean, this one looks straight out of the 80s to me, so I'm assuming she's an author from that time period. She wrote The Library Book and The Orchid Thief. I don't know any of those. And there isn't any 1-star reviews for this one. There's only one 2-star review, in fact. It says, maybe other writers aren't the target market for a memoir by a writer who writes about writing. Or maybe it's just me. A third of the way through, I found it duller than dishwater and should just go on about my life. Oh my gosh. I actually think, considering I haven't read from her, maybe it wouldn't be the right thing, but I think a memoir from an author is something that I'm more interested in than others. Then we have Things in Nature Merely Crow by Yu-Yin Lee, who wrote some other novels. Be warned, potential reader, there are no answers here. No wisdom learned, no deeper insight, not even any emotions with which a normal person might be able to relate and find some solace with. These are just egocentric musings of a sociopath mother. There are quite a few 1-star reviews for this one, and it's a memoir about losing both of her sons, I believe, to suicide. We've got The Tell by Amy Griffin. Somebody said, sympathy for the author, but this maybe should have stayed in her journal and with her therapist. Ouch, I would not recommend. I wish I hadn't picked it up. Paper Girl by Beth Macy. She has written Dope Sick. Somebody said, I had a hard time making myself finish, incredibly biased, and I might say outdated in view of the revelations and events since January up to the time of the book release. Definitely exemplifies liberal worldview and intolerance of any other Christian conservative worldview. 25% memoir, 75% agenda. I don't know if that turns me off from the book. Okay, after all of those, I think the 1-star reviews that didn't turn me off from the original story the most would be The Tell. the Hair one, and Joyride. I definitely am leaning towards something that's more lighthearted right now. So I would say these two, because I think the Tell is a very heavy story of her childhood. So I think I will try out both of those in the vlog, and so there's still a little bit of a TBR to figure out in the vlog, but those are the two that I'm gonna give a try to the first couple chapters. Getting the cover prompt for historical fiction is so tough because there's a couple that I like and I don't really know what any of these books are about, and I have to choose based solely on what it looks like. What we have to do here is fall back on Kayla from a couple days ago, who did a live stream to the channel members where we had our first reactions to everything, because in each category I talked about what my favorite covers are. So let's quickly jump back to that and see what I said about this category. Let's move on to historical fiction. Is that going to do better for you or worse? I guarantee nothing here I've read. For sure, nothing here I've read. Have I read a historical fiction this year? I don't think so. The Amalfi Curse? I feel like I've heard of that. Sarah Penner. Why is that familiar? I need to find out. I really like the cover of that one. Amity, I really like that cover by Nathan Harris. So yeah, I'll be choosing between the Amalfi Coast and Amity, and I went to the bookstore in person and looked at both of them there and still couldn't decide. So I'm not sure what to do from here. I don't know if you guys need to vote or if I need to start both of them, or if I just need to make a decision in this moment. Like, I just think the Amalfi Curse is so pretty. Like, the blue and the gold is such a classic combo that just looks really stunning. But Amity feels more like recent kind of graphic stylings. The font that was chosen, I love the sunset. Seeing it in person, it's a matte cover and it feels really good and it looks really lovely. And I don't know what the right choice is. I think what I'm gonna do is try out them both. But one of them I can get from the library, so I have already reserved it. And if I read that one, then I have earned a cheat. So what do you think the right decision is? Next prompt is this bingo, choosing my historical biographical book. There are quite a few things here that I'm not interested in. I did bring the list down a little bit, so I turned it into a 9 bingo board that we're gonna now call Bog. We're gonna play Elimination Bog. I'm going to spin this. Each of these is in an area, and then I'm gonna delete them one by one, and whatever is remaining at the end, that's what I'm gonna end up reading. I got rid of some of the books that are very American-centric and ones that are about one specific event, and what I'm left with is some ones about authors. There's Mark Twain, there's James Baldwin, Jane Austen. I also kept the one about Lorne, what's his name? Lorne, I can't remember his last name. The SNL creator. I actually hate SNL. I've never ever found it funny. I cannot stand it. But I do like to read things about media and how media came to be, and like critiques and commentary. So I think that one could be interesting. And then I also kept things about women's history, medicine. There's a witch one, and then science. And then my 9th one is about the mistreatment of marginalized children in America. I have no preference of which one ends up being the pick. I'm happy to go with whatever is here. Let's begin our spin and see what we get. First 3 being eliminated. 066. That's the witch one. Would have been interesting. Next one behind it, G54. That's the Lorne one. And then the 3rd one, G57. Oh, that's the Shakespeare's Rival one. I didn't even tell you I put that on there. That one sounded interesting. Next spin. B15. That's the James Baldwin one. 061, which is Mark Twain's. B10. Which is the one about the children throughout history. I only need to eliminate 2 more. Each box actually represents a different, like a range of numbers, but we haven't gotten any repeats. 067, we've done that one already. B12, Great Vitamin, did that one. And G48, that's the one about the women in science. So it's just between the medicine, the cure, and the Jane Austen one, which I don't think is actually about her. It's about all of the authors that might have inspired her. Another spin. 068. Already scratched that one off. B1. And that is the Cure one. So we are left with the Jane Austen's bookshelf book, which I had never heard of before the Goodreads Choice Awards. I have read one Jane Austen, Blasphemy, didn't love it. So this is going to be an interesting read for me. Let me know if you think I'll like it or if I should use my swap for this one. Okay, we're back where we started, and these are the decisions that have been made. We know for sure the romance pick, the romantasy pick, the debut, and the YA fiction. We know what I'll be reading for fantasy. We've decided on the nonfiction and the history. Now, the genres that are still up in the air that I have multiple choices to make in the vlog is the mystery thriller section, the fiction category, historical fiction, I'm still deciding between those two, and memoir, I'm still deciding between those two. And then the categories that I can't make any decisions until I have some more data is audiobook, because I'm waiting for the Pantone color to be announced, YA fantasy, because I have to wait until the Goodreads Choice Awards are announced and we find out the runner-up. And then members have polls and subscribers have the comment section where they will be deciding science fiction and horror. So we have some decisions, some still up in the air, and some that I won't know for many more weeks. And then also, all of this could be completely thrown out the window if I decide to delete categories, to swap anything. Put anything you want in the comments. I will be reading them very thoroughly all of this weekend long to figure out what the heck I'm gonna do for the rest of the TBR. I'm very excited about everything I'm gonna read. I think a lot of good decisions have been made, and I'm interested to see what you think of everything. And I'll see you in a couple days with another video, but also 3 or so weeks from now with the follow-up vlog to this. Bye!